Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they get no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it
Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio, your Wednesday night. It's Hump Day!
Hey, Steven. You know what today is?
What?
It's Wednesday.
So it's,
And you know what Wednesday means?
yes, it means it's halfway.
Are you ready for a miracle?
Oh, yes. It means that Keith has finally fixed the internet.
For now.
Oh, you have no idea how many people act.
I know. He was really funny. He said today, he said, if the internet is acting out, just turn off this and this and this and reboot it.
Yes, the Wednesday means we have the wonderful Miss Kari Malinak with us.
Which I have found out that she can sing.
Oh, you did?
She can carry a tune, so that's nice.
I can.
Look, at least somebody can. Steven can too. I'm more of that heart guy that just kind of has a half a tone that
You love his heart. He puts a lot into it.
that's as far as it goes.
You could always do like music like the band Cake, because that lead singer is talking, really.
That's just talking over. He can do the Shatner too, because the Shatner always talks.
I can do the Shatner.
the Shatner talking over music. Yes,
Oh my goodness.
that is so good.
Are
Let's
you
hope.
for a miracle? Ready as I can be.
Yes.
Let the Spirit set you free. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? It's
That's
See, I
awesome.
can do that all day long. That's easy peasy, man. But it is Friday. Before we get started, go to doaeshow.com. Check out everything over there. Get raffle tickets.
Yes.
Please.
For
We
this
have the
guy.
raffling off of the Mojo 50 logo. If you're watching on the Twitters or on the Facebooks or on Mojo 50 TV, Steven is holding in his hand a very pretty emblem, and it's got the raised lettering. It's all beautiful. $2 per ticket. Put you in a drawing for that we'll have on September 3rd.
Third. You got it right again.
I keep wanting to say second for some weird reason.
I don't
It's
know
the
why.
third.
It's the third.
Doing it on the 3rd. It's the second half of the show on the 3rd. That's what it is. Go to doashow.com. Also check out all the archives. Follow us on the social medias. Everything, everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube's, DLive, MeWe's, all of them at DOAE Show. And Miss Kari, where can they find you? Twitter.
Slaving away, just working hard. No, you can find me on the Twitter at Kari Malinak. And you can actually, this is so cute. You can find me on our church website. Our church website, but our church YouTube site too. Can I plug my church YouTube site?
Yes.
Sure.
Awesome. So it's Living Word Lutheran Church, Grapevine, Texas. And it's so sweet. We have a teenager who is just adorable. And she has some special needs, but she'll sit there and watch the YouTube videos of sermons or classes or videos that we put up. She'll watch them and all day long. And so she thinks I'm a YouTube star.
That's awesome.
It's really cute. So she said they were in a Bible study and someone said something and she said, "Oh, Pastor Malinak said that on the video."
Yes.
And you're like, oh, it makes you
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's very awesome. But before we get started, one of the things we want to talk about is Patriot Mobile. They are an amazing company. Big Mobile is they're using their influence out there to push a radical anti-faith, anti-family agenda. It's something that, if you're using their service, you're also supporting their attacks on our values. We've got to become more educated consumers about this. Don't miss your chance to support gun rights, religious liberties, immigration law, the sanctity of life when you switch to a veteran-led company called Patriot Mobile. It's America's only conservative cell phone company out there. Plus, you can get a free month of service if you act this week. This is your last week to get this deal. Join the thousands of members like me that has switched, because I actually have. I've switched from Big Mobile to Patriot Mobile, because I don't want my cell phone bill supporting Planned Parenthood, sanctuary cities, killing our freedom of speech, etc., etc., etc. It's easy to switch to Patriot Mobile. You'll save not only money, but you'll save time. It is super reliable, nationwide service, and you'll feel great about funding the proper agendas. With unlimited plans starting as low as $25 a month for talk and text, you can get a free month of service today. And you can support your values when you use the promo code Come On Over. Spell that correctly. Visit patriotmobile.com/mojo50. That's patriotmobile.com/mojo50. Use the promo code Come On Over. Once again, spell it correctly. And you can get a free month of service. This is your last week. Get it done.
That's true.
Yeah, buddy. Oh my goodness.
So
I have a question really quick.
Sure.
Hold on a second here.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, I noticed that Steven does most of the
reads.
Sponsor reads. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Because he's used to it.
I'm just it's so inundated.
What did you say?
He's more used to it than I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I full start. So when I had to step away for the little stretch that I had to do is while I was gone is when he started doing it, and he had to do it and do it by himself, and he just has such a knack to roll into it. Every time I do it, I get this.
It's kind of clumsy.
Like Steven said earlier when we were talking, my brain has this idea of how I want to do it, but then I'm also trying to read off of the cue, and it just clashes, and it's horrible.
Look,
Yes,
he can
that's funny.
free speak any of this if he wanted to,
Yep.
but if he tries to read the script,
Yep.
And that's the problem is we do it, we have it in actual script form.
Yep.
to help us.
If you give me bullet point A, which is like 2 words, and I could turn around and I could knock it out, but because it's done in full script, my brain can't pick it out. You should have seen me try to do math the other day.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad.
It wasn't even like hard math. What was it, like 112 by added to
It was
like,
in half. It was in half, and then
it really was. And I'm going like in the air. It was horrible. It was bad.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's the real reason why. And he flows with it so well. It's just easier for me to have a snarky thing or two every now and again and throw up
That's true.
into it. And then
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
To
and
each their own,
Steven,
right?
you are so good at just those non sequitur
Oh,
sequiturs
Thanks.
or segues.
and I need to get better at it. I really do. But it's one of those that at the moment we want the sponsors to get their money out of it. And if I do
Absolutely.
it,
It
Then
may
people
not
will
happen.
be calling for the free puppy and giraffe that come with their cellular service.
Yeah.
or be calling going, whose idea was it to
Let this guy talk.
Right.
let this guy do the talking?
And then I'll be getting a call and everything. It's not good. Look,
I don't hear from any.
we were talking before we started here, and you were mentioning that you've been going through some notes back in the day, sort of notes, like writing through stuff that you used to think about. And you had a song that you had actually written out in your own handwriting.
I did. I wrote out the lyrics to Slow Fade by Casting Crowns. And this is, let me see if I even know what date this was. It was February of 2014. That song came on the radio. Wow, that 5 years ago? Oh, man. That song came on the radio, and I really, really really liked it. So yes, I was looking to find it, and it's kind of a cautionary tale.
It is. And I hear Dylan, you don't remember the song.
No, I'm one of those types that if you give me like the lyrics or if I hear the music is usually where I can
Kick
pick
in.
up. If you go, Casting Crowns and such, I'm going to be like,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
could literally play a Meatloaf song and say, no, this is Casting Crowns. I'd go, oh, okay, gotcha. And I would not know. I really wouldn't know.
It wouldn't be.
No, I saw him the other day. I don't know why I thought
Meatloaf?
about that. Yeah.
Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Like in concert?
No. He so there was so complete. I know Steven's getting ready to play this thing.
Oh
So
gosh.
but there was a like a Comic-Con kind of thing in Raleigh here, and I was cruising around and I decided I wanted to hang out with my sister, and she's like, well, I'm taking my daughter, my niece. I'm like, all right. So I walked around and he was there signing autographs and
A Rocky Horror Picture Show?
well, I was gonna say Tim Curry was there, but he was there, but he didn't come out at the time. He wasn't feeling very well.
Oh, darn it.
Snyder was there.
Sorry. That was delayed.
There.
Who?
The guy that played MacGyver, he was there.
Oh, very fun.
Catherine Tate was there. And this is just who was in the building at the time when we were walking around. I'm like, oh, no. So, sorry. That's why I thought of Meatloaf, was because I saw his
You
face.
happened to see Meatloaf.
Saw Meatloaf,
Yeah.
which is funny. But anyway, I'm sorry. So, but
That's
yes,
good food.
you're
That's
so-
it's good food. Anyway, so Casting Crowns, they have a song. It's called "Slow Fade." Kari, would you do the honors of telling us some of the lyrics here, and we can start the conversation?
Sure. So I'll just read the first verse. And then, ooh, that's a good verse too. Okay, so let's see. The first verse, be careful, little eyes, what you see. It's the second glance that ties your hands as darkness pulls the strings. Be careful, little feet, where you go, for it's the little feet behind you that are sure to follow. And then it's got, the chorus. It's a slow fade. When you give yourself away, it's a slow fade. When black and white are turned to gray. And thoughts invade, choices are made, a price will be paid when you give yourself away. People never crumble in a day. It's a slow fade. It's a slow fade. But this is an interesting one that I just saw.
We
this
really
verse,
need to do that.
Huh?
Dylan, we really need to do that project. I'm just saying.
Oh, I was thinking that too.
Anyway, continue.
Sorry, I'll tell you that after
Later.
the show.
That's a later
Yeah, I do
conversation.
want to hear this project. Okay. The journey from your mind to your hands is shorter than you're thinking. Be careful if you think you stand, you just might be sinking.
Mhm.
That's a great verse.
That is so deep and just the
Theology, actually.
yes, like
This whole song was it really is a good. I mean, I remember because I had heard it come up on the radio so often, and then to actually be driving, and I remember exactly where I was driving, where I was like, okay, I got to make note of what this is, and I think I probably sound hounded it.
Back in the
Just to-
day.
wow,
Soundhound.
I still use SoundHound.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
What do you use? Spotify?
No,
I don't. I just remember.
oh no, yeah, Steven does. Steven's got like that for him. It's like it literally is like just a trap. Once he hears it, it's in there forever.
Music
No,
stays
but
in my
if
head.
you don't know what it is.
Oh no, he does. Like for some weird reason, like his is like he could tell you the guy who
Look,
wrote it.
No,
He
no,
could
no,
tell-
stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No. I can tell you the song. I can tell you the lyrics.
Mm,
90% of the time, I can also tell you the artist who sang it.
Okay. No,
Wow.
I use Shazam. That's what I've always used.
Oh, Shazam. That's what I was thinking. That's what Keith and the kids use, Shazam. I still use SoundHound because it works just fine. I'm fine. I know exactly where it is and what button to push. I'm good.
There you go. See, that's called getting in the habit.
No one ever comes to me for current or hip thinking.
Kari is hip. She is in the know.
Look it up in a dictionary. Hip. And there's a picture of Kari.
Kari.
There you go. Totally.
Or Shakira, which hips don't lie.
Totes.
Totes my goats.
Anyway, ding, you owe me a Coke.
Aww.
But anyway, Anyway, there was a reason we keep derailing.
Yes. But the reason you were talking about was saying that this makes you think a lot on the current society and how degraded it is. And anyway, you continue.
Oh, well, no, you're doing a great job.
No, it's fine. Go. It's you.
This is Wednesday. They don't want to listen.
They don't care about us here today.
So I was just seeing stuff that's popping up in social media and even just on TV, movies, just the gratuitous over-sexualization or blatant sexualization. And I know we talked a little bit about the snarkiness or the cruelty that people have too.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I thought of that song because it really was, just that cautionary, we think, oh, it's okay. I can handle this. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But we're trying to blend some black and white into gray. And I will say that we have gray because we have mercy in Christ, but we try to make our own gray. But the lines are very clear, and there is a definitive black and white in Scripture.
So what you're saying is 50 Shades are not really.
50 Shades. No.
50 Shades are self-created, is what you're saying?
That's
yeah.
Or maybe even if they're 50 shades darker.
If we can create the mixing and make the nuances more nuanced, then it's a whole lot harder for most people to be able to actually parse things.
Well, and a couple of thoughts, and I need to hold on. I need to remember my two thoughts here, so I need to jot down a note. This is, am I old? Am I doing this because I'm old? I just don't want to forget these things.
Don't forget.
Okay, I got it. Okay. So the first thing that we were talking about, and then there's another thought that we weren't talking about, but we were talking about how there is this removal of personhood, of humanity, and I see some of these pop up, some of these really raunchy things pop up, and I think, would that person be retweeting or liking or paying attention to this and giving it any time of day if that was his or her daughter or mom or sister or wife? I don't know.
Going into specification, the reason why you're saying daughter, wife, mom, aunt, grandma, whoever, is because
great aunt. I was going to say that too.
Great aunt. Yeah, that goes back to another conversation off air. So the reason why you're saying that is mainly because 95% of these images that are produced are of women.
Yes.
Or of those who look like women.
Yes.
Yes. As women. But even if it doesn't matter, even if it is just women, it's just as bad if it's a guy. You know what I mean? You're still objectifying and taking away the humanity of somebody. And you can tell that we're removed from this. Look how people treat each other online and then how they act in public.
Right.
What I mean,
that line is getting blurred. People are starting to treat others in public as if they're not really people.
A person, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's transferring. You get into a habit of seeing, again, like we had discussed a second ago, I'm looking at the two of you on this computer screen. I see you. Well, if I get used to how I treat you in you can't touch me, you can't get to me, I can say and do whatever, then I'm going to run into you or people like you. And that's the habit. And that's how it's going to go. And sadly, like I said, we've lost that connection that, we're not just creatures. Like, we're like people. We have feelings. We have consciousness. We're far above anything that, like, by far the best thing that God created. And we're treating each other literally like dirt.
So what you're saying is that we're not creatures of the night.
No. The shadow knows. Okay.
No, I was going back to a Rocky Horror Picture Show comment from earlier.
Yeah, I still, I don't know. I was gonna.
That's for you, Virginia Jackhole.
I can't say
I
anything.
see
If I say what I was about to say, I'm gonna be inundated with like photos and with.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. Instead, let's transition real quick over to cat coolers.
Because who doesn't want a cat cooler?
I do.
Seriously.
I really want a cat cooler. Not only are they rugged, but they keep your ice cold up to 7 days. They're made in the United States. They're fully customizable, which means you can put whatever the heck you want on them. And they come in 5 different colors, one of which is black with a little stripe on the outside that tells you if it's cold by turning blue. I know. Plus, it's the only cooler I know of that can break a cinder block after the cinder block gets dropped on it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a beast.
Yeah. Not only that, but these guys are they're less expensive than their main counterparts.
Yes.
And they have a lifetime warranty on all their cat coolers. So if you go to catcoolers.com today, if you go to catcoolers.com, use the promo code Steven, STEVEN, and you can get 10% off discount on any purchase that you make. That's promo code Steven, STEVEN, over at catcoolers.com. Check them out today. So going back to the creatures of the night, not really, but we're not an online persona, are we?
Right.
No.
You can
Right.
keep going.
He's like saying something.
Sorry.
That's for you to
Dylan,
keep rolling.
you're being brilliant now, right, Dylan? Is this your brilliance?
No, remember cameras and mics are on. Now I'm not.
No. That's all done and over with. We were talking very well beforehand. Now, no more.
No,
Now it's a
You
snarky
know, it was a-
commenter 5.
I told you.
Great conversation before the show started. And not that it's bad, but it was, Dylan was on fire. He was totally with it.
Yes. Yes.
No, I it's something that I have always thought about, and people. I feel like I'm very weird for this, but when I travel anywhere, driving especially, but driving or flying, I tend to watch people, and everyone's like, "Oh, I watch people," but I watch people.
I did too.
I start wondering, like, I will, in somebody, and for no real random reason other than just it gets drawn to this group of people or a person individually, and I will start to wonder, about this person's life. How many family members does he have? Is his parents still alive? How many siblings does he have? What kind of a background do they come from? You start with that big kind of storyline, but then you start to think, and realize that what kind of a day that person had before that person showed up at that gas station or at that truck stop. What conversation did they have on the phone prior to that? You know what I mean? How is things going on in their job? How, and it's not a, overly nosy thing. It's just kind of a refresher and a reminder that, this is a human being. We can all sit here and say, I have, I'm going through this. My dad died last month, month and a half ago. There are people who fathers die every day. It's not just you. The stuff that you go through, you are not the only person. But we forget that. And thanks to the greats of the internet and everything else, we're shutting ourselves off and isolating ourselves to a point that we literally are an island unto ourselves.
Yep.
There is nothing else. And even though I see you and you tell me, oh, you know what, it's convenient, or I say it's convenient. Your dad died, a month and a half ago. Well, mine just died, about the same time. I know exactly. You didn't have a great relationship with us. I didn't. Oh, he was an alcoholic. And you can go down these lists and all be checked and we could be identical. And there's still going to be this wonky disconnect because we can't take people as people anymore. We're pixelating it. I mean, look at what they're doing with virtual reality and the glasses and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Moving ourselves from reality to a point that people are not people anymore. Look at how abortion's being ran.
Yeah.
Right. Is that the music?
Yeah, it is. See how fast this goes? It is crazy. You told Dylan to talk, so he talked.
It goes so fast. No, Dylan, you're brilliant. Great.
All right. We're coming right back right after this break. Hold on. greasing his palms over there.
Yeah, let's isolate that audio because that probably will never be repeated ever again.
There you go. She'll repeat it every time she comes on.
No, seriously, I was told I was brilliant.
She said it once.
One time someone said it in your
No, that was good. It was good. It was a good rant. It was worth ranting. It was very good.
It was worth the 3 minutes.
It was
Yes.
but it's, and again, I've always felt weird though, because I will, and it's not just even in traveling. Like there's and Steven, you know where this thing's at if you actually pay attention. You know where that, on one across from the Home Depot shopping center, there's that one brick building that
Yes.
looks like an old gas station.
Yes.
It's like nestled in the woods. There's no way to get to it now. It's this little bitty thing.
Yeah, they took the road away.
They took the road's been gone for 50 plus years.
Mhm.
It's literally just this building. They cut the grass around it and everything, but there's no nothing.
Just a building in the middle of the woods.
And I see it, and my brain like will go back to what was it like the day. Who was the family that opened it?
Mhm.
Can you imagine the feeling that the guy had when he got the keys from the bank and was like, I'm opening up my business for whatever that business was. I still don't know what it was. But it's just, that's the kind of stuff that I think of. And I've always thought I was weird for it.
You are weird, Dylan.
To attack, yeah, I am definitely weird, that's for sure. And in this day and age, comparatively speaking, I am, because no one thinks that. No one takes the moment to dig deeper than what they see at face value, which is exactly what we do looking at the screen.
That's what I mean, if you're looking at
Right.
the screen, that's the point.
Yeah.
Wow, we got. No, that's okay. I'm just looking at the time. We got like 20 seconds.
Shh.
Okay.
Well, wait, we got 20 seconds. I just don't get into a rant is all I'm saying, That's not. All right, shh. Here we go.
The mighty Mojo 50.
Defenders Live, Mojo 50. Generally, your friendly neighborhood dumpster fire. But today, we have Miss Kari Melinek with us.
Yeah, it's never a dumpster fire on Wednesday.
It's not really. It's not a dumpster fire as much as a holy fire at this point. And
Dear diary,
The
I
fan-
did not make a dumpster fire.
It's weird. Our fans are more excited about the Wednesday show when you're on than they are about any other show we do during the week.
the our Monday show, they like.
Monday they like to, and Thursday, Fridays they
say.
they say they like. I don't think they do.
I don't know. I don't think so either. But we were getting to a topic of with the song "Slow Fade" and how it goes through the idea of be careful what you see, be careful what you say, be careful how you walk and how you think and how you act, because everything that you do leads to a conclusion. Everything that you do will sully yourself, and it actually pulls from Psalms. It's Psalms 1-3. It's blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of the sinner, nor sits near the scoffers, but his delight is in the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by the stream of the water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. It goes from that to be careful what you're doing. Understand where you're going.
It's really a lot about the what are you feeding your soul, or how do you feed your soul? Because regardless if we want to try to compartmentalize our lives and parts in our lives, we are soul and body. It is all one until we die, and that's when the soul is separated from the body until the last day. But whatever we are doing, whatever we're seeing, whatever we're hearing, whatever we're saying, it all is feeding our souls. And this is the other interesting thing. So we've removed the personhood from most of humanity, right? We've removed the humanness from most of humanity, which is really very sad. And it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous on so many different levels. But the other thing is that and I thought this was really interesting. This was brought up in the sermon this week, which I did not preach, but it was a great sermon. So that sounded really weird. Our senior pastor is just a phenomenal preacher, but he he talked about the word of God being and he wasn't saying it's a sword. I mean, it is. Jesus says it is. Oh, he brought up the scripture passage, the gospel passage where Jesus talks about how there will be division over his word. There will be division. And the point during that portion of the sermon was that God's word always divides.
Yeah.
Because you have truth, that is God's word, and fact, and then you have our opinions. And it is divided.
Yep.
Truth and opinion, or fact and opinion. And we have to say, okay, this is truth and we'll go with this, or I'm just going to go with what I think or what I feel. It's divided. So yeah, it was very, very interesting. And that's another thing that, when you think about feeding your soul and even meditating on God's law day and night. And this is not in order to be a heavy legal thought or whatever, but when we lead our lives in the spirit of truth, which we are told we have the Holy Spirit to do that, to help us discern that and to do just that, there will be, I can hear myself. I thought someone else was talking and I hear myself. What other girls on here?
Nope, that's just your computer acting weird.
Awesome. What was I saying? Something.
Completely lost it. How the word of God is a division in amongst itself between
so
between
if you think
and fact.
about what you're feeding your soul with and how you're leading your life, and we so want to do things our own way, and when we stack that up against what the truth of God's word says, we find that division. And sometimes we'll see, okay, all right, I'm feeding my soul this way. That's all good, and then we'll say, geez, I just want to do this.
Well, it's the idea. It's the idea that we're going through is, a lot of it tends to pornography, especially on social media nowadays, where it's, even if it isn't technically pornography, it's a lust. It's a desire to see beyond what's already there. It's in your mind. It's your imagination continuing. That lady looks very nice. Goes to, I wonder what she looks like under that, or in that sort of regard.
There are a lot of things out there that there is no wonder what's under that, because there's no that.
That's also correct. And
the imagination, for sure.
Not much.
And again, would you, and this is kind of a general you, but as men, would you like that, retweet it, comment on it, if that was your daughter, if that was your wife?
The sad part is there isn't a guy, I don't think, there isn't a guy on this planet that would turn around and have that close of association with it and say, yes, I would share it. There's nobody. There's nobody that would do that.
There are people.
I don't know.
There are people.
There probably are. This is a very corrupt and bad place. So there's bound to be some, but it's a severe minority, is my point.
Right. And it goes to the idea, talking about in 1 Peter, it goes to the idea for the time past of our life, in our past life, we suffice to rot in the way, in the wills of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excesses of wine, reveling, banqueting, abominable idolatries, etc., 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 etc. But now,
right.
But in going back even a step further, like what Kari was saying, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And if you start filling yourself with crap,
Mm-hmm.
crap is going to come out, and not just that's how you're going to be able to then not stick to the principles that you claim to have, because if you start sacrificing them in what you see, again, going back to, if you have no problem of staring at all these women or guys, depending on what
Okay, yeah.
if you can do that, then when it comes time for you to actually be principled and say, well, I can't do that because it's my family or it's my relationship with this, it's close, it's touching home, you start to waver and it goes south.
But I think that that's the whole point of this song, that it was saying, you think you can do this, you think you're standing, but it's a slow fade, and you may think you're standing, but you're sinking, right? And I think that we put way too much assurance in our own capabilities of being strong, being adult, being able to handle things. But
and then when you talk about that as well, though, you also talk in the light of circumstance where we talk about, they're desensitized to that, so it doesn't affect them as much because they've seen it so much, they've dealt with it so much that they don't really feel it anymore, and that desensitization is actually acclimating them to be more appreciative of it, not just deal with it, but to look on it and be okay looking at it.
I was going to go there. Like nobody stops to look at that point of, oh well, like you said, they're just used to it. They're just used to it. That's kind of the problem. It's not even what they're doing now and how. Let's trace it back to, how did this start? How come we can't? Same thing I've always go with abortion. Instead of aborting a baby, how about we try to keep you from getting pregnant? If we're going to play this game, because you're right. People are going to make bad choices. People are going to make a decision to have sex, whether it's out of wedlock or as teenagers, whatever. People are going to make those mistakes and make those choices in the moment. So how about, if that's the case, and it's not to condone it, it's not to say that it's right, but if you make it, let's figure ways to prevent it, not wait until life has been formed to murder it. Let's go back to the other side. Let's prevent it. Let's have, let's do the condoms. Let's do abstinence. Let's talk about that end of it before it becomes a problem. This is the same thing we do with our kids. We raise our kids to teach them, you don't lie. Lying is bad. Well, why are you teaching them not to lie? So that when they grow up and become a productive member of society, they can be productive.
Right.
But you're heading it off at the pass. You're catching it before it becomes a problem. And we don't do that anymore. We've all gotten so lazy about everything. I tried to be fancy there for a second.
Lackadaisical.
Thank you.
You were so close.
So close. Like that. we get into a point where it's just, it's not a big deal. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. And the problem is it ends up being burnt before we get there. And then we're stuck trying to sort through the mess.
We're stuck on the wrong side of the bridge.
There you go.
There you go. But it's also sad to think that that people then are also dehumanizing themselves.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, it's removing the humanity from yourself. It's having so little worth that that you matter as a human being, and that that has value.
Yep.
Well, there are a lot of people that do that even without the internet. We see that a lot in societies like Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Colombia, Laos, places that combat flip-flop has actually set up shop.
Oh.
Yeah. See, this is a company veteran-run, veteran-owned and operated. These guys are amazing. What they've done is they've decided to set up shop in combat areas, help women and children get educations, and help the women of the area get jobs, so that they can then not only become productive members of society, but they can also have an education and commerce to produce a better life for their families. If you want to help support helping people, with a veteran-led company, maybe you should check out Combat Flip-Flops over at combatflipflops.com. That's combatflipflops.com. Use the promo code Defender25, and you can get 25% off on your first purchase. That's combatflipflops.com. Defender25 for 25% off your first purchase. And really, though, it's one of those situations where when you run into a group of people that have been so demoralized and so degraded that they don't even see themselves as people anymore.
Mhm.
It's kind of an appalling sight.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the dangers of collective thought.
Yeah.
When you start feeling that, oh well, we're all like this, then
Right.
you start, well, if I'm going to treat you like this, well, you're going to treat me like this, so I must really be this way. And it's not. I hope, I pray to God that before I die, we get back to that spot where we're back to somewhat individualistic type thinking, and because, and I don't get me wrong, that has its own dangers as well. Extremes on both ends can be just as dangerous, but we have to be able to be accountable for what we do as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
What I do in my life, in my house, and how I handle my business and things like that should not be the ground or the line to gauge all 37-year-old white men. You know what I mean?
It's very bizarre the time we live in, though, because while on one hand there's this huge push for individualization, there's also this huge push for, well, you can be an individual as long as you're part of this group think.
Yes, that's what I was individual.
Which is so weird.
Individual collectivism. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
It's almost, in a way, they try to make you feel, look, you're a complete individual, you're special, you're different. Look at the whole gay community. Oh, we've got to be singled out, we've got to be different, we've got to be this.
But only if you think this way.
Yeah, but only if you fit in this. And it doesn't make sense. Thank you. There was a point where people didn't care who you slept with or what you do. We're at a point now where if anybody turns around and sits there and goes, well, I'm gay or I'm trans or I'm whatever, great. And I've got moldy cheese in my fridge. It's the same thing. Me having moldy cheese in my fridge does the exact same thing to your life as you telling me what you do in your bedroom in your private time.
Right, but that goes to that's less about the societal immorality and more into individualism as a whole.
Well, yes, but I'm saying you have to start at the individual as a whole first, and then it ripples out into.
Yeah, because you start with yourself, then you work with your family. Once you work with your family, then you work into society and your small groups. And once you get into societies, then you can talk about. That's why local government works. That's it. That's it for political talk.
Starts at the home. If you can't, and it starts actually with you. If you have no self-worth, then you're not going to set things up around you that will reinforce your self-worth. Mm-hmm. And therefore, that's not going to reinforce your family, your home, your community, your city, your state, your country. And
right.
Your world. Nothing's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So then where are you getting your self-worth? And that's where we come right back to, am I finding it, seeking for it within myself? No, because then you're just going to be back into the I suck.
No, I am a terrible person. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any friends. I'm just this. And then that's where you have people who get upset and sadly end up killing themselves or whatever over being bullied online.
Or other folks.
What I mean? That's the one place for me. And again, this is where I realize I'm slightly weird and different from other folks. But that's the one place that you could call me whatever you want, and it really won't affect me because it's like, oh, scroll, and it's gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to go running again because
it's okay. And so, well, it all goes back to how we originally started. Be careful, eyes, what you see. Matthew 6:22-24 says the eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, then your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. And then the light that is in you is darkness. And how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. For either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You can't serve both God and whatever else you want to put here. In this case, it's God and money, but in any case, it's God and whatever else. Self, lust, pride, whatever it is. You can't serve both.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything that takes a precedence over in your life, that's it. That's what it is. And it could be kids. It could be spouse. It could be your job.
Sure.
It could be
things that are normally good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All are good. Exactly. If you make it into an idol, it's no longer good.
It's an idol.
Right.
Ding. And that's when you have to, but you have to also be able to evaluate that, keep that as a.
That's where I like. I really like Psalm 51:10. That verse I say a lot. Especially when I know I'm struggling with something, and that is, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And it's really because I know I can't create the heart I need. I can't create the spirit that I need. It's only through the grace of God that we can have that thought, that spirit, that perspective that we need. And the other one that I really like is, for this same sort of idea, is Psalm 139:23 and 24. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And it's easy to kind of think, oh, no, that's, test me, God. I'm so right there. I'm doing so well. But I think it's the reverse. I think it's a plea for, test me. You know my thoughts. You know my heart. If there's a wicked way in me, lead me to the righteous.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's one of those forms that we talk about, especially when you're talking about in Bible study and things like that, where you're trying to, like, the Bible is straight. It's there. We are crooked, crazy, compressed people, and what we try to do with learning about God is to straighten up our crookedness to make us on the right path.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's more along those lines than about, oh yeah, test me, I'm ready, I got this.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Right.
No,
I got this.
no,
I got this.
you don't got this.
Flash, you don't got this. You're going to turn around. That's what they say. Don't ever pray for patience. Because here's the deal. When you ask God for something, it's not, everybody thinks like patience is one of the big ones everyone always says. God, I wish I had patience. God, please give me patience. Everybody thinks that when you ask for patience, God's going to suddenly go ding, and suddenly this wave of euphoria will pass over you and nothing will bother you ever again. And that's not how it works.
No.
While Kari was talking, what I interpret it to go is it's more along the lines of like going to the gym. It's exercising. When you say, God, give me patience, he's going to put you into situations where you have to lean on him to give you that patience in that moment and to throw the cares off onto him, not sit there and go, I've taken it away. You can now be patient. And then as it goes on, you learn, oh, God's got this. God's got this. I don't have to worry. I don't have to carry it, blah, blah. And your patience does grow, but it's through the struggle, just like going to the gym and working out whatever specific muscle you're working on. It takes the tearing. It takes the exercise. It takes the pain to get that muscle to be stronger.
No pain, no gain.
Oh, my gosh. How much time do we have left?
Okay, sorry.
We have 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. We have plenty of time because eventually we have to talk about sharks because it's Shark Week.
Okay,
And,
fine. You know what? Before we talk about sharks, Shark Week, and what are you wearing for Shark Week? All right, hold on. Before we talk about sharks, let's get into some CBD oils because this is something that is, it's a fad, but it's not just a fad. It's actually something that works. CBD oils are an amazing product that's normally in hemp and cannabis plants. But if you get a good CBD that is a high concentration with minute traces of THC, because you can't get it all out, it's very minute, you can have something that's going to better your life, make you feel better physically and mentally. It'll make it so that maybe if you have tremors, if you have issues with your joints, if you've got continuous pain throughout your body, I'm not saying it is a catch-all. This isn't a snake oil sales pitch, all right? It can help, though. It can help your body feel better. It's not going to heal everything. It's not going to, magically cure you of some disease. No, it's just going to make you feel better so you can go through your day dealing with these situations. Maybe you have something as simple as brain fog. This helps. Ask my wife. She's used it. Go check it out over at mojo50.com/shop. Mojo50.com/shop. If you use the promo code Defenders, it's $15 off the price. Mojo50.com/shop. Promo code Defenders gets you $15 off. So Shark Week. All right. Take it away to Shark Week.
I just wanted to say, yay, it's Shark Week.
Look,
okay, that to me is a phenomenon in and of itself. We've actually gotten to a point where we unofficially have a week every year dedicated to sharks.
I have a friend,
and it blows my.
I have a friend. Yeah, it blows my mind. I have a friend too, but I have a friend who's
You said it, not me.
He is deathly afraid of sharks. Like, he hates sharks, and Shark Week is like his dreaded terror week of TV.
Really?
Yes, because both his wife and his daughter terrorized the mess out of him during, like, his daughter last year. She went and she bought like a shark shirt and shark shoes and like shark stuff, and he's one of those, like, strictly no sharks in my house.
That is so funny.
Sort of guy. Like,
they terrorize him by playing Baby Shark.
Yes, they terrorize him by playing things like Baby Shark and by actually just, like, showing a picture of a shark. You know how my wife has with spiders?
Oh, or me and snakes.
Or you and snakes.
So, okay, this is interesting. People, I was just having this conversation with my mother-in-law. People seem to either be really scared of spiders or really scared of snakes.
Hey, I've noticed that too.
I am neither.
You're not either?
No.
I'm not mine is not a fear. I can't stand snakes.
So they're dichotomous. So they have a nature to them. Spiders look really weird because they have 8 legs
and like 12 eyes.
They have 8 legs. They've got the center torso and the head on top. It makes them look alien. It makes them look weird, out of place. It makes them look like they shouldn't belong here. Snakes, on the other hand, have no legs
and move quick. That's me.
They move super fast.
Have you seen them climb a tree?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. Like, I've seen larger snakes, like, climb up a wall of a house for no reason. It's like, how did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to,
and
like,
now Dylan won't be able to go to sleep tonight.
Oh no, that's fine. No, but it's proof to me that that the Bible is true, because the only thing on earth that could move that quickly, that agile, and, like you said, up a wall with no legs is nothing but the devil. Period. It's full stop.
Now,
change my mind. Okay.
Okay. Here you go. Change your mind. Bronze serpent on the staff. That was a sign of healing.
I know, and I got that, but I'm just saying,
Christ was lifted up like the serpent was.
That's all that was. I got that, but they were put on that. I'm talking about the ones that do it on their own. I don't do. I can handle it. Like, I could be around. I understand they're there, but, like, to me, the people I can't get are the folks that are diehard. Well, I've got like 6 pythons and a rattlesnake. There's a kid over there in that tank, and he got loose last week. Scared the hell out of the mailman. It's that kind of stuff. Those people, I don't know if it's the snakes or the people that I'm more worried about. I'm just saying, I will admit that I watched that stupid movie Snakes on a Plane, and I did not put my feet on the floor the entire movie.
That's on you, dude.
Well, especially when I started seeing like the graphic. I watched it the second time. I'm like, what the? Really?
Oh, that's
6
funny.
through this. This is bad. No,
So, Kari, are you going to be wearing the shark shoes tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. I'm gonna wear. Well, you'll see what I wear.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So Kari's going to be posting it up every day on the Twitters.
Yep, my shark fashion.
That's right, Kari Malinek on the Twitters. This has been DOA's show. Let's get to the bell count for the day. How about it, folks?
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day. Today we had 1 missed innuendo bell, 49 actual bells, 4 horns, 3 rim shots, 1 AOC, giving us an A+ for the day. You boys are doing an outstanding job. Peace out, y'all, and have a great night.
Now remember, that's at Kari Malinek on the Twitters, at DOA Show, hashtag arm yourselves if you want to talk to us with anything else. This has been Defenders Live. DOAShow.com is our website. Go get your raffle tickets today. DOAShow.com/shop, mojo50.com.